Hey, I'm Andrew Lloyd and today I'm going to be doing an analysis on 15 Step by Radiohead. The first thing is this piece is in 5/4, so an odd time signature, and this is, I feel like a super successful odd time signature. I think the tendency can be if you don't do 5/4 or 5/8 or 7/8 or just any time signature, if you don't do it right, it just feels really awkward and clunky, and this is, I think, really successful. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on rhythmically. I think the drums and the electronic percussion that they have programmed in, I think that's the main thing that makes this come off so well. And it's a little complicated because there are multiple layers. There's the drum kit plus other things added. But if you look or listen to the snare drum, it is hitting on the and of 2, the and of 3, and 5. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. And I think what we can take from that is, I think when you're in an odd time signature, hitting the space in between the beats is a secret to make it come out smoother. So the stereotypical 5 like rhythmic feel for time is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. So you're starting with 2 dotted quarter notes. So like Take 5 uses that. Bryce Dessner's piece with Kronos Quartet, A Hymn, has a version of that rhythm. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the melody at the beginning. So at the beginning of the piece, there's no harmony. There's just the percussion, and then the melody is... Now that is just the A minor pentatonic scale. Or that's the notes that's all from. And I think the pentatonic scale is major or minor, is the magic scale. It's odd because it's just taking the major scale minusing 2 notes, and it often sounds better. So historically in the world, the major scale is not the precedent. The pentatonic scale is the precedent. The major scale was the precedent in Europe, but not everywhere else. So the pentatonic scale is amazingly powerful, and I don't know. I don't understand why it sounds so good, but it does. Now I think adding the major scale for your harmony and using the pentatonic for the melody is, that's kind of the sweet spot, the best of both worlds, because if you just use the pentatonic scale for your harmony, you don't have as many chords. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to go over is once the chords do come in, we have this A minor chord to D major, E minor, and then D major. Now with the introduction being in the A minor pentatonic scale, you would think we're going to be in A minor, which is the same as the relative to C major, so all white. But this D major chord has the F sharp in it. So the question is, where does that D major chord come from? And the answer is the key of G. So we're not in A minor, we're in A Dorian. And if you don't know what that means, that just means we're using all of the chords available in the G scale, which has an F sharp, which has a D major chord, except A minor is our home base. So there is a lot of untapped potential in using these ideas, using it's modal, so there's Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, etc., where you are making a new home base in a different key. I hope that makes sense. Now, what really I think is interesting is later in the piece, we have A minor, and then instead of D major, D minor, and then E minor, and then back to D minor. So we are now going to what you would more expect, A minor, and I think that is just this small piece that enriches this small element that really enriches this piece, where it's like kind of the same, but now it's got like a little different vibe.